Hello, financial fans. It is the day after elections, November 9th of 2016, and Donald Trump has been elected as the 45th President of the United States, and he will take office on January 20th of 2017. The results were quite obvious when I went to bed about midnight last night. They were still counting votes, and no one had conceded and no one had claimed victory yet, but it was obvious that Donald Trump would be the president-elect. And markets, stock markets around the world took a dive, including the United States. When I went to bed last night, the Dow futures, which is something that's traded after hours, that you can buy and sell stock after hours, but it's not the same as actually buying the company. Anyway, Dow futures were down 800 points, and that's a huge drop. And I thought, well, that might be the case tomorrow morning when I get up. It might still be down 800 points, and maybe the market will open 800 points down. Now, if it had opened 800 points down, that would have been what I would have called a buying opportunity. But the Dow right now is down about 16 points, so the panic subsided overnight. People got their sleep and woke up and realized, hey, the sun came up, everything's going to be all right. And as the world moves forward toward the future, once again, people who invest in stocks like myself start looking at what it is they hold and what they might be able to buy. And today I noticed General Motors stock was down quite a bit, and I already considered it a great buy, and I did own some shares of General Motors, and so I bought some more shares of General Motors because it was the General Motors stock is way oversold, in my humble opinion. We'll look at the numbers here in a minute. And I sold Bank of America because I had a nice profit in Bank of America, and I figured I would use that to buy General Motors stock, just sort of trade one stock for another. But anyway, what we can do here, I'll look at the numbers. And if you are just starting out in the stock market, here's more or less the way I decide what stocks to buy and sell. I look at the price-earnings ratio. I look at the dividend. Dividend's very important because I can just hold on to the stock and make money every 3 months, get a check. And if you have money in the bank, you might want to keep it there, but if you decide to invest some of it in stocks, you can get a higher dividend rate than what the bank interest rate is on a lot of stocks. And we'll look at General Motors and Ford and some other stocks here and see what the numbers say, and you might see why I decided to buy General Motors stock. Most companies, the average of most of the companies that are on the stock market exchange, they would have a PE ratio of about 20, maybe 21, 22, but about 20. And the lower the PE ratio, the better it is for the investor. And when you look at General Motors' PE ratio, you'll see it's very, very low, historically very low. And what that means is General Motors is having high earnings and their stock price is still low. And it's lower than the 52-week average, and that's probably a good sign. And the same with Ford, and we'll look at some other stocks here. But anyway, don't panic like the people last night after the election. All around the world, people panic. Don't panic. If nothing is hitting you on top of the head, you're probably all right, and you're probably going to go ahead and you're probably going to do whatever is right for you as this world continues to spin around and around. And I wish you great success with your investing, but right now let's look at the numbers. And we shall begin by looking at General Motors stock. This is the way the page looks at Google Finance. If you open it up and then put in the symbol GM for General Motors, you will see these numbers. $30.50 was the price at the moment this particular screen cap was made. I got it for $30.58, so I got it at a bargain price. And on the right we see some numbers, some columns of numbers, and the top entry in the second column, dividend yield. We see 38 cents is the amount they pay each quarter to each shareholder for each share, and the dividend yield 4.98, about 5%. If you just buy that stock and hold on to it, you'll get a check, a dividend check, or it will be placed in your brokerage account 4 times each year for about 5%, as long as the price remains right around $30.50 and the dividend remains at 38 cents. They might raise the dividend or lower the dividend in any quarter, but generally speaking, you get about 5% for holding on to General Motors stock. And that, of course, is more than the interest rate on bank accounts, but the stock purchase and holding at a brokerage company is not insured. You don't have the advantage of an insured account, but I have not yet lost any money on stocks other than stocks on which I've lost money. So that happens. Earnings per share, $8.74, which is incredibly high. That's the EPS. That means earnings per share in that second column, $8.74. And that's an awful lot of money to be made on a $30.50 stock. At the bottom of the left-hand column there, the middle column, PE ratio, P/E, 3.49. That's very, very low for a PE. Anything 10 or less is very low, so 4 times that would still be a low PE, and a low PE is a good thing. The 52-week average price for General Motors, or the 52-week swing in price, $26.69 was the low, $36.88 was the high, so about $27 to $37 was the 52-week trading range, and we're near the bottom. So at $30.50 or $30.48 where I got it, that's quite a bargain. I do believe General Motors looks good. Looks like an oversold stock. That it's a good investment right now, I would think. That's how I look at those numbers. And now let's look at Bank of America. This is a stock I sold today. BAC is the symbol, and the Google Finance page looks like this. We look over to the right and we see the dividend and yield. 1.7, less than 2% is what a person would receive for holding on to that stock, and that comes out at 6% every, or 6 cents every quarter is paid, or 8 cents every quarter is paid for each share. And the earnings per share, $1.36, which is good for a stock that trades at $17.67. In this case, I sold it for $17.72.5 per share. PE ratio at the bottom of the first column, 13.11, and that's low, but I like something a little lower if I can get it. And another thing I didn't mention before, the shares traded per day, the volume, the average volume is 85 million shares every day. I like high volume like that in a stock that I own. The 52-week average, $10.98, about $11 to $18, and it's getting near the top. So that's the time I usually sell a stock, and I was happy to get out of Bank of America and into General Motors, because one looks like it's about ready to go up the roller coaster, and the other looks like it might be getting ready to go down the roller coaster, and that's how I read those numbers for Bank of America. Symbol for Ford is F. $11.30 is the price as of this particular screen cap, $11.30 per share. If we look in the column on the right, the top, dividend and yield, 15 cents paid per share every quarter, unless they happen to change that, but it comes out to 5.31% dividend per year for holding on to Ford stock. So it should be a good investment if you believe that Ford Motor Company will be around for a while. The earnings per share, EPS, $2 and a penny, and that is very good for an $11 stock. And the PE ratio at the bottom of the first column there, P/E, 5.63, very low. Even twice that would be a very low PE ratio. So Ford Motor Company certainly looks like it's getting ready to go back up after being near its low, 52-week low, $11.02, and the 52-week high, $14.76. So it's nearer to the bottom than the top, and it might be getting ready to go up. And since new Ford motor models are coming out, this being the winter months, there will be some new cars being announced and released and so on. So I think Ford should do well. I do own Ford stock. I have not bought any today, but it looks like a good stock to be in. Let's see what the volume is. The volume and the average volume, 31 million shares is the average daily volume of Ford Motor Company stock, and I like it, and I like the way these numbers look. And now let's look at AT&T, and this is selling at this time $37.40 a share. The symbol is T, like in Tom, and I have owned this stock for many years. It's a very good dividend payer, and the price has moved up during the time I've owned it. This is the Google Finance page, and we see that the dividend yield, right-hand column top, the dividend yield 49 cents for each share, 4 times a year, and 5.24. 5.25% interest, or a 5.25% dividend is what you receive for holding on to that stock. Earnings per share, $2.35, which is okay. It's actually good for a $37 stock. And the PE ratio is moderate. It's not low, but it's not high. 15.91, about 16 is the PE ratio. And the 52-week average, $32.22 to $43.89, almost $44. And at $37, we're about in the middle there of the 52-week price swing, so there's room to go up. And that 5.25% dividend makes me want to hold on to that stock for the future and not be in any hurry to sell it. That trades 27 million shares per day, and I do like high volume stocks. I won't go into the details on why. It's just if you're new to the stock market, don't buy a stock that only trades 50 or 60,000 shares a day. Get a stock that trades 1 million shares or more per day. AT&T is good. And now we'll look at the stocks that I currently own, and I won't show the pages or anything. I'll just tell you what they are. So let's get to that. And a quick look at the stocks that I own. Put my spectacles on so I can read these. Stocks I own right now: BP, which used to be British Petroleum, just called BP now. That's an oil company. I own that stock. I own COP, ConocoPhillips, which is an oil stock. Ford, F, I do own that. FCX, Freeport-McMoRan Copper and Gold Company. And GE, General Electric, I own that stock. GILD, Gilead Sciences. GM, General Motors, of course, I own that, as we just saw. GOOG, Google. Google has an opportunity to be even bigger. It's the probably highest price per share stock that I own right now, but Google I own. GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, I own that. And M-O, Altria. Merck, MRK, I own that. Microsoft, MSFT, I have stock in Microsoft. PFE, Pfizer, I own. RAI, Reynolds American, or Reynolds American, I think. And RTN, Raytheon. I own that. That probably is a good investment right now. And let's see, STX, Stargate Technology, that one is one of my big losers, and I probably will sell that toward the end of December and realize a capital loss that I can deduct from capital gains that I made during 2016. T, which of course we just saw, AT&T and VZ, Verizon. Those are the stocks I own. Recent trades, I recently bought GM, recently General Motors I recently bought. Today I bought it, and then I sold Bank of America today. And back on 1025, I bought some General Motors stock, and I had already owned some then. And back on 915, I sold AAPL, which is Apple. And back on 9.2, I sold CTB, Cooper Tire and Rubber. And back on 713, I sold Tesla, TSLA. And most of those sales I did make a profit on. I don't think I sold any losers in that bunch. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the stock market, what I own, and I'm not planning on selling anything in the near future other than STX, Stargate Technology. And other than that, I hope everything goes well for you and that you're having a very sane day and a calm, relaxed day. And I do thank you very much for watching.